All right, everybody. We are back. Peter and I are continuing the game just by playing our turns, recording them, and then after a few turns we're gonna join back together and run another stream, discuss what has happened and what we are going to do next, and then we might change back and forth between that. Okay, so audio levels are alright, yes. So the AI is running all the turns based on the orders that have been submitted. If you're not aware, all the turns, I think we mentioned that in the stream, are resolved simultaneously. So all the players issue their orders, upload their turn, so to say, that is, upload their orders, like what do they want to build, which decisions did they take, where do they send their armies, which units do they recruit, and so forth. And then the server resolves all the turns once all the turns have been uploaded from all the players, by all the players, or once the time limit, the set time limit of that is given for a turn has exceeded, then the server resolves all the orders, and then what the players download then is basically a replay, in quotation marks, of that turn that the AI has already calculated and resolved, right? And then they can give their orders again, upload them, wait for the others, and so forth. So there's nothing. We saw that the Saxon army marched away, and that's all right. We are progressing. That means we have gained a authority token, I believe. Unfortunately, I can't see that because this window is not yet implemented. Usually if you click here, there should be a new window opening. To commemorate the strengthening of their relations, Swabia hosts a grand feast in honor of envoys from Henry the Black of the Holy Roman Empire, who brings a generous gift of 140 money. Yes, we sent that to increase relations. And we can see relations have now reached 13. I think we started at +1. Okay, we're gonna look into that once we've gone through all the notifications. We have sent 150 money to Bavaria, who, despite mocking my envoys or my emissaries, eventually accepts the gift. We had -4 now with Bavaria. Okay, but that's all right, I guess. 25% chance of royal marriage. Don't know if you want to do that with Bavaria or rather with Swabia. Only 16%. Why is that? We have better relations. Let's see. Base accept chance 12. Relationship +4. Legacy +5. The frailty of your dynasty is certainly enticing, but worry not, we will protect it. 10%. Our heir is not to be preyed upon. -15. Which goes down to 16. What about your heir? That's a thing we can't really see. Who the heir is and why this happens. Let's have a look here. Yeah, they don't have that. They don't think that their heir is super important. One of your daughters will marry a son or very important noble of the target realm. When the ruler of the other nation dies, there's a chance to gain partially or in full the other realm, depending on the current heir, absent, weak, or strong. Right. And they fear, okay, they fear that I'm sort of constructing a claim, quote unquote, on their duchy, right? By marriage. And then I could, we saw that in the regional decisions there are options to try and assassinate the ruler, which we could do, and then assassinate the heir once they become ruler, and then trigger the potential effect here. If there is no heir, if the marriage has not yet produced, then there's a chance for us to take over that territory, which we don't really want to do because we don't have that much more capacity domain-wise. Domain? Why is it not called domain? I think it's domain, right? Domain. Goslar has built a tall bridge. And that happened by event because there was no building slot open here. So they have simply done that on their own. Must be adjacent to a sea or a lake. Requires tracks or better, so that's roads. Taxation bonus 18%. Regional loyalty penalty for trade acumen penalty, so that's the value that determines how smart your trading is, so to say. Penalty 1. So it's less efficient for us. That's the better way to put it. Taxation bonus of 18. No net income. Must be adjacent. So probably if it was adjacent to a sea or a lake, it would actually not only increase the taxation, but actually produce money, which would directly go into our income calculation. Interesting. Yeah, unfortunately we can't build the tracks, but that's has been bypassed by the event, so they don't need those. But yeah, I was always thinking that the city models would be made less gray-ish, transparent-ish. Don't know. I think they look a little bit off to me. Brescia has also built a tall bridge. Oh, which is nice money-wise, but is a problem because it is a loyalty penalty. And we already only have, or now we have a loyalty of 27 and a risk for revolts of 4%. Our authority is very low. We should, if we have the show of authority decision, then we should trigger that down here. Vienna, however, by showing signs of organized stewardship, has granted us a +1 bonus point on authority. Which is great, thank you. And it does not look like I've spent that much money on those decisions. Yeah, actually, I spent 750. That was something I couldn't see when making the changes on the probability with which certain regional decisions are triggered or become available. So that's good to know. I think I changed about like 6 or so. 700. Yeah, well, but we have the money, so that's all right. We could even send more gifts. Thing is, sending several gifts in a turn will decrease the effect. So that might be throwing money out of the window. Well, diplomatic intrigue. Maybe against Carinthia, our dear vassal. Have to take another look at this. If the relationship you had with the target was positive, then they will improve their relationship with one of their neighbors at random, and might even manage a peace deal if both nations are AI controlled. Yeah. Or if we have negative relationships, it will randomly degrade the relationship of this nation with one of its neighbors. Okay, so what we could do is turn our other vassals on them. So we have -43 with those guys. And they have only 3 regions, so that would perfectly fit into our domain size. And holding these 3 would allow us to, actually holding 2 of them, would allow us to create the province of Carinthia, which is an important thing. Would allow us to produce more authority and appoint a governor for more production and stuff. So if I do that, I can turn, for example, Bavaria against them, with whom they have a relationship of 0. So let's have a look at our vassals. Excuse me. And their relationship with others. So Swabia has slightly positive relationships with Mainz and Köln. So Mayence and Cologne. Same for Saxony. What about Bohemia, by the way? They are, of course, part of the empire, but not a vassal. It's interesting because, I mean, Bohemia always remained, for the longest time, remained an independent kingdom, a part of the empire, but a separate kingdom, that is. While the emperor usually also was king of the Germans, German king, and king of Italy, and another one. I think he held 3 kingdom titles. Not Bavaria, I think. Can't quite remember. I must say, the Middle Ages aren't quite my area of expertise. Know a little bit about early Middle Ages, but we are already past that. We are in the year 1054. So there's that. Anyway, so I don't have any regional decisions which I would like to trigger, or should I actually? Let's try this. It costs 100 money. I play this against Carinthia, and then it costs also 2 authority, which is all right. And then we will have a look next turn, which we will be able to play immediately after this one because Peter has already submitted his second turn. We will have a look at the effect. So let's double check one more time. They have neutral relationships with all their neighbors. Hungary and Croatia are at war. What else do we know? Are there any more news? Is there war? France and Normandy are at war. Okay. There you go. Anything else? Anything in the north? In the east? Don't see anything, but I'm also not quite sure how far reaching we would get those informations. All right, I'm contemplating, before I submit the turn, contemplating as to whom I want to send a gift to. Could be Caniola. Maybe. Or maybe rather Savoy, but they are at -37. That'll be harsh. The Jura or the Franche-Comté, which is also an important part of the, and that will become a point of conflict here, a region of conflict once France grows, because they wanna have that. Let's remember, it's only possible to create vassals if you hold a province, right? So this could be a thing, creating the Netherlands, so to say, even though we have, what's this, Lower Lorraine. So we could start a campaign to occupy these independent regions just to create Lower Lorraine as a province, and then give it to one of the family members, for example, and create a vassal. That's an option. It's part of Saxony, wondering if they are, oh, that's Hamburg actually, if they are moving out to take that. So Milano isn't part of the realm, is it? And that would also be part of Lombardy. Let's see. We have no claim. They are commune, okay. Probably means to be a sort of a republic. So you see here that declaring war costs authority, and we can't really afford that right now. We will have 11 authority next turn, so it would be an option to do that in 2 turns from now, but then we would drop in the overall authority rating or ranking, and that then means that we have a higher chance of acquiring negative tokens. They would be willing to conduct a marriage, but that's not of too much interest. I don't think we are at a point right now where it makes sense to strategically marry with other kingdoms. Actually, there's a high chance to marry with Bohemia. That's interesting. That could increase our relations. Let's have a look at the emperor. Giselbert, my only son, who is 13. Not very religious, apparently. Bertha, 17, a daughter, and Adalgard, 19. So they could be married to at least this one. I'm not sure if they have to be 16 or 18 to be married here in this game. They could be sent off, so to say. So we could do 2 royal marriages then. Am I correct? The thing is, focused. Bretislav, the Bohemian Achilles, previously known as the Count Palatin Jirojberka. Ja, also der war mal, he was Count of the Palatinate. And there is this, I mean, this relationship is ongoing, right? Into the 30 Years' War and all that stuff. I think we do want a royal marriage with Bohemia. Make them a strong part of the realm. Tie them to us. And who else do we want to send someone to marry? I'm not quite sure about Hungary. Maybe we keep that for another time. Okay. Was there another diplomatic intrigue? Yeah, but we could potentially play that again on Carinthia next turn, depending on the outcome. So let's rather have a look at how this plays out, what the effect is, and once we know that, then we will decide. No need to rush. And again, the reason why I'm allowed to immediately take my next turn is because Peter already had submitted his turn before. So this way we have an overlap potentially, unless I don't decide to play immediately, so then he could play before me and so forth. Anyways, if there are more players, everybody has to wait. Well, 6 authority points. Why is that? Why we are at least in the top third of the authority rating, which grants us an opportunity or a chance to gain additional points. And we can also see legacy-wise that the Holy Roman Empire has quite some points, same as the Byzantine Empire. And unless they are put under pressure or fall apart, it'll really be hard for other factions to keep up. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Von Ertsperg has arrived at the court. von Erzberg. I haven't really put too much focus on these guys. Lothar von Erzberg. He's 18, good military, however, as a general, he has a rating of 1-1. Spend thrift. Unit upkeep increased by 20%, but if a new unit is created under his governmentship, then it gains 5 experience points. Nikolaus von Lorch. A good admin and religious man. A bad general. Produces more food, but gains less tax. Health bonus for the province. And less chance of dying, basically. He is, however, leading our army. And we should probably rename the army. It's called First Army, so that's First Army. But there's probably a better name for that. Well, and then all the brothers. Igilbert von Wüppingen. A very religious man. Noble. I'm trying to find out what the different symbols mean. So this means he's a general currently. I think this means he's at court. And this might be, yeah. I put him as a governor. So this blue cape guy here is a governor, and all the others are at court. Very good. I believe our strongholds have produced another authority point. Was that the case? Our strongholds and places of influence throughout our realm are a show of might for all to see. +1 authority. Great. The mighty nobility in Vienna, a force to be reckoned with, contribute to our increased authority through their strength and influence +1. We have received develop region decision. Our envoys have returned and told us Spoleto rejected our offer. Spoleto? Who is Spoleto and what did we offer? Yeah, they are still thinking whether or not to arrange the marriage. Who is Spoleto? Did I miss something? Spoleto down here. Oh, I believe I offered them a marriage too, didn't I? Oh no, a cooperation, because they are at 25. Yeah. Don't want to have an alliance. They do like a marriage though. Well, do we want to do that? I'm wondering if a marriage also increases the relationship. Let me look that up. Search local files, manuals, and the ebook, please. And marriage. can be feasibly lead to the later absorption of one or the other of the partners. So be aware. Yeah, of course they can also absorb us potentially. In addition, you can have formal treaties with other nations. Options include cooperation, passage rights, or a royal marriage. It is possible to have more than one of these with another faction at a given time. Over time, factions will gain claims on provinces that are either independent or held by another faction. These will become a source of tension. It's also possible to gain claims via royal marriage if a given dynasty dies out with no acknowledged heir. Yes. So claim to, so that's basically wars of succession, which might come up. If there is no direct absorption, then there might be a potentially a war of succession. Civil war. For a royal marriage to occur, you must have a daughter of age to send to the other nation court. This is the only requirement, as there is no named spouse, nor do you need to find a suitable noble if another ruler sends one of his daughters to your court. At this stage, the daughter character is removed from the game and the marriage is concluded. Wow. It is assumed she is now married and at the other nation's court. Oh well, that is well, I guess it's due to the abstract nature of this game, but that is a problematic representation, I will say. Royal marriages are cancelled once a new dynasty ascends to the throne. If one of your vassals tries to set up a royal marriage outside your realm, you will be asked to agree or refuse. This allows you to stop a marriage at a cost in lost relationship if you fear your vassal could become absorbed by a foreign power. However, it's nowhere mentioned that royal marriages also, as would corporations do, increase relations over time. So I don't think it's necessary, because it doesn't give us a boost. We can send them 80 money. Oh well, that's not that much. So let's increase the relationship further, so maybe then they are willing to sign the cooperation treaty with us. So now let us have a look at the effect of our decision. -42. Don't think that has changed. What about their relation? Oh, they have now -20 with Caniola. So that's interesting. Caniola doesn't really like us either, but that's not that much of a problem right now. Okay, I think I will issue the intrigue again. I really want to push this now. And what I'm also going to do is, to increase the chances of conflict, is to call them in, always. Ask your vassal to join you in war, even if your relationship with him are under amiable, so under 50. So, and if this fails, then there is a chance that this will cause war. Which might create other problems, but there we go. So, we have now added sergeants to our army, and I think we need more spearmen and potentially more crossbowmen, actually, before we start conquering the lowlands. We do have money, so that shouldn't be much of a problem. Mercenary light crossbowmen. I would prefer not to recruit mercenaries. We've heard last time what issues that can create. Is nobody able to recruit just raw early crossbowmen? Are you kidding me? What about building projects? We have open slots in Frankfurt, so that's all in Franconia, right? Yeah. And how long does this take? 2 turns. 1 turn. Okay, so then in 1 turn we could potentially, depending on our infrastructure point production, think about starting another building. We definitely need whatever is necessary to build these guys. A bowyer or a master bowyer. So a bowyer then. Yeah, a bowyer. Well, do I want to recruit mercenaries? As we've learned, that can cause issues when dissolving them or ending the contract, so to say. But I don't really have the money, the income to pay them. I could pay 1 because they cost 40 to recruit with increasing cost the more you have, and then 40 per round maintenance cost. And I only have an income of about 70 right now, so that's not really an option. What about them horses? Only 15. Well, they are a standing army anyways, right? Those are levied, the spearmen, and they cost more, as I told you before. So let's recruit heavy crossbowmen are support units, right? Yes. So that's, we do at least have 2 support units. Range attack 9, so that's quite strong. But we need more units in the front line, which will be spearmen. The canton spearmen don't have the clumsy issue. Infantry, levy, heavy infantry. Okay. So that's medium infantry, that's heavy infantry. Because they are heavy, they are clumsy, and because they are clumsy, they can't really fight in woods, swamps, and mountains. But they are good in open terrain, arid and steppe. So what's the terrain then in the lowlands, huh? Would think that's woods. Plains is good for us. Swamps is bad for us. What's here? Plains. So we shouldn't have any issues fighting in plains, but the woods will be an issue. Or we can just besiege them. That should be alright. We need a bigger army though. What about them sergeants? What are their... Charge bonus in open terrain. 25% chance per level to not receive the first damage incurred. Common power 11, attack 6. Attack 6 is not super strong, but I guess that's alright. Let's have a look at the other armies here. They haven't really changed much, have they? No. Well, they have early crossbowmen. And they even have irregular infantry. Raw early. Bavarian mercenaries. So they have quite a lot of support units, which is interesting, I think. Okay, so I've submitted one more. I should do one more. Or do another sergeant. Maybe down here. Horses for the win. Don't want to pay for the mercenaries. Even though support units are so important. So the next turn we will gather our newly recruited units and commence our march down to the Rhine. And attack Berg. The Bergkäse. With the overall goal to... Like, how many regions are there even in that province? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I really need to conquer them all the 4. Then create the province, appoint a governor, I believe, and then make him a vassal. I think that's how it works. I don't have that decision currently. Was that an extra decision? Form vassal, right? Yeah. One of your peer of the realm in charge of a province is now a vassal of your nation. The target region must be a provincial capital and the peer of the realm governor must be in charge. Region must not be a national capital. So if I understand correctly, then it doesn't really say, but I think the whole province will become a vassal then. So I do then want to increase the chance to get this. Even though it costs money, I set this at very high. Or should I? Maybe just high. Will take some time to conquer. And then we will conquer and divide, as is good practice. No expert mode. Develop. What's that? For 150 coins, a region with at least one noble will be developed. If there is no path, one will be created, and additional food and infrastructure will be provided, along with a bonus from ruler administration. If a path already exists, a road will be constructed. So that's awesome sauce. I don't think we have paths or roads or anything like that anywhere. And it creates a noble. So do I rather want... Well, I rather want nobles down here, don't I? To create more stewardship. No, the stewardship doesn't impact this. Local authority is derived from national authority and will alter significantly regional loyalty. Which depends then, the modifier is the base value. So the national authority is the base value. We are at 12. I don't know why, because we have 13 points, but anyways. And then it's minus 55 because of the distance to the capital. So it would actually be beneficial to have the capital in a more central position. But that's nothing we will do right now, bother with. But then it doesn't make sense to have more stewardship production down here. What we need down here are buildings that potentially grant us authority, if there are any. There might be. I haven't studied them too carefully, I must say. But then it does make more sense to have a noble in Leipzig, I think, to increase equipment production. Special structures produce authority, yes, but it doesn't matter where they are. So that is not related to the local authority. Required dimension size for realm change 20. Maximum for authority gain 32. Only nations with enough authority can progress. Authority is also the safeguard to a peaceful transition when the current ruler dies. Okay. Nations with high authority tend to clash. Each peer of the realm in charge of a province increases the maximum dimension size. Each vassal reduces required size for realm change. Not quite sure what realm change actually means. Realm change. Okay, it doesn't. There are no hits in the search feature. What is the realm change? Is that the different levels of government? That doesn't really make sense, because you need the tokens to do that. What is a realm change? Realm progression. Vassal reduces required size for realm change. So, is there... I don't see a number here anywhere. Well, I have to ask Rob about it. Probably he knows. He's that kind of guy. Anyways, what I will do is invest 100 to develop Leipzig. Doing, 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 doing. So that we will get path. and a noble. What we have here, which is an issue, is a baronian vassal. It creates walls and siege resistance, which is good, and more stewardship and loyalty, but it also costs a hell of a lot of money, manpower, and food. It is possible to give a minor noble a barony through the regional decision grant land and revoke it through the decision remove civilized. It allows the recruitment of medium infantry standing army units if you have any. If the state authority is very strong, this baronial holding can either be disbanded automatically or provide an absorb vassal decision, should you have one. Interesting. I like those buildings which are, so you can't destroy this, you can only remove it by the decision or if a certain game state is reached. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we have a stronghold here. Okay, we did that. We played that decision, yes. Anything else? Don't think they have received the money yet. No. Our delegation is still en route down to Spoleto. Campania. Very good. Well, that concludes the turn. I will upload it, and then we're gonna wait for Peter's next turn, and we'll see how this continues. I hope you enjoyed it, even though I'm playing these turns rather slowly. I hope to explain and take you with me on the adventure of exploring the game mechanics even further. I hope this is helpful, even though not a whole lot is happening. But let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you in our next episode. Until then, bye bye.